This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Now, your hosts, Taylor Stern and Brad Sham.
And welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. It's the Cowboys Hour. And thanks for being with us wherever you are on the Dallas Cowboys radio network or streaming on DallasCowboys.com. And look who it is. Look who our guest is, everybody. Oh, you're on the most of you are on the radio. You can't see.
Well, if they could see, they'd see the smiling face that is Joe Looney.
Number 73. Yeah. Joe Looney, thanks for doing this.
Oh, guys, I appreciate y'all having me on this fine Monday.
Now, listen, we were just talking, about just so you folks know what Joe is giving up in terms of rest time. The airplane landed at, say it again?
3:30 a.m.
That would be this same day.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to be here by noon for a COVID test.
Yes.
And then lift.
Yeah, we had lift, and we just finished up with meetings, watching the football game, correcting mistakes and whatnot. So it's been a day.
So you watched the game?
Mm-hmm.
Did you still lose?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, well,
Come it.
Did you hear? He said a key word.
Yeah.
He said he's here on a fine Monday.
It is
Which, because the sun did rise this morning. I know a lot of Cowboys fans thought that.
I thought that meant that Joe was just saying he was here so he didn't get fined.
Oh, well.
No, Joe
Those
volunteered for this.
Words.
Those were your next words?
Yeah, Taylor, you know what, man? I want to piggyback on that. We're all blessed. We woke up this morning, man, and we got a lot to be thankful for. I know, the outcome of the game wasn't what we wanted, but, hey, we got things to be thankful for. Life is a lot bigger than football, but,
That's what we're finding out.
Okay,
I'm trying to tell Brad that.
No, stop.
No, you're right, Joe.
Stop. I know it better than you. We are going there. I was going to go there later, but we'll go to football later. Since you've gone there, we're going to go there right now because I personally believe that folks have a lot to learn from your attitude and your outlook. And you got a lot of attention from photographers and media who were not in earshot, and then social media. The one day in the Star during practice when you spoke to everybody, when some of the real unrest was going on and people were trying to decide what was the appropriate way for the team to react. Do you feel willing to share, as best you remember it, what moved you? Did you tell Coach McCarthy, I want to say something to the team?
Well, Coach actually asked me to speak to the team and say a couple of words. And, I'm really grateful for that. And what I told the guys is you guys know I have my faith. And, I put my faith in Jesus. And, I told the guys, man, he leaves us with one commandment, to love one another. And, it's been 4 years since Cap took a knee, and no one man in the White House or on a football team has been able to help with this. I think it's going to start with us individually as people intentionally loving one another. And when we think about love, I'm not talking about that Hollywood movie kind of love, not the Notebook kind of love. I'm talking about just seeking the well-being for another person. If you're out and about, man, and you see somebody of an opposite race, just go up to them and say, hey, man, love you, brother, man, and just seeking the well-being for people. And the more and more we focus on loving one another and we start with ourselves individually doing that, then it's just going to spread like wildfire. So that's the message, I'm trying to relay to everybody and let people know if we're loving one another, it's not going to matter, who's taking the knee, who's standing, we're all in this thing together.
Now, I'm going to get personal with you a little bit.
Please do.
But don't worry, I won't go too far. But we know each other fairly well, and it's my impression, and I'd like you to react to this, that, look, we all go through ups and downs in our life away from our job.
Right.
And sometimes when our jobs are public, it is incumbent on us not only not to let those things distract us, kind of distract us, but we're also sometimes we're not even supposed to acknowledge it. We're supposed to pretend that it doesn't happen. And we'll talk a little bit later on about mental health because Taylor got into that last week pretty good with Tyrone Crawford. But here's my point. My observation is that as you have gone through, you're still a young man. What are you, 31?
30. Just turned 30 on the 31st of August.
Happy birthday!
Oh,
thanks,
30,
John.
you're
Yes.
practically a baby. You're younger than Taylor.
Babe. I'm 28.
Oh, you're 28?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For those listeners.
I was gonna try to ascribe
love
some
it.
maturity to you, but that's all right.
I got
Well,
2 kids,
you
so that
still
makes
can.
me kind of like 40.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Ages, yeah.
Yes, 30 is definitely 40 in young kid years, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Here is my point, and there actually is one. Here's my observation of you just watching you since you got here, and you weren't born into life as a Dallas Cowboy. As I have observed you dealing with life, it seems to me that your faith has both deepened and become a little more public. Am I off base or am I right?
Oh, you're right on track. Right on track. And it really has. I'm starting to live by the, Bible verse, Romans 8:28. We know all things work together for good for those who love God according to his purpose. And when you really, start to grasp that idea in your life, you take away that the luck and the chance and the fate, because, we have a God who's taking care of all of this stuff. And what really looks like is bad is really working out for good. And like you said, I've dealt with my things in life. We all deal with stuff, and I'm fortunate to actually deal with them things now, because it's put me in a position to be closer to Jesus where I am now, and admonishing people and letting them know, like, hey man, I know you might be going through a rough time, but you know what? It's all going to come together for good if you're looking in the right place.
And also, and I say this from personal experience, but is it not also true that if your faith can be whatever it is, and however you perceive it to be, but whatever that is, my experience has been if you are anchored in some spirituality, some faith. It can be an organized religion or not, but if you're anchored in that, it helps you deal with the vicissitudes of life that are coming, and they are coming.
Oh yeah,
Is that your experience?
Oh yeah. If you haven't been through them, you just keep on living it. Just wait, they're coming. And I think I look at Christianity more so. It's a relationship. It's a relationship with Jesus, and you get as much as you put into it. The same way, I commit to football, I need to be committing to my faith with Jesus. Or, if I'm just, casually going to chapel on Saturday and just giving Jesus, a 30-minute cheap date, then, my life is going to show that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning more now. Hey, I need to, as we get older, we grow and whatnot. We grow in wisdom, and I'm getting older, and I understand, I need to be in my Bible. I need to be reading, and not only just listening to a sermon or just reading the Bible, but applying it to my life, and, applying that spiritual aspect to my life to, not only benefit me, but to benefit, the people I come in contact with.
So when I hear someone witness, as you have been for some period of time now, I immediately think of Tom Landry, who people frequently say, because he was nothing if not a devout Christian, and lived his life very much by all Christian principles, and was able to succeed in a cutthroat, competitive business. Mm-hmm. So people who may not be as elbow deep into their faith as you are right now, they might say, Joe, how can you be as competitive as you need to be and go play a physical, violent game and try to block somebody like Aaron Donald?
Oh, yeah.
How can you do that if you are all caught up in Christian love?
Right. And, my response would be, Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as if working for the Lord and not for people. So, if you're working for the Lord, you're going to, play as hard as you can out there on the field. You're going to give it all you got. That all that sweat and play and whatnot, whether win or losing, I'm out there trying to, glorify God and how I play. And, when people turn on the tape and they see, Joe Looney playing, they look and be like, why is this kid playing so hard? It's because, man, I'm playing with a different purpose. Obviously we want to win, but I'm playing with a purpose to glorify God. And, it gives you that joy to show up to work every day and want to be that great competitor, because greatness is in us, and we just got to pull it out.
Man, is his energy just not contagious?
You are. I mean, I know what your post-football career will be.
Yeah.
Oh, enlighten me, please.
You're doing it right now. You're going into ministry.
You know what? It's funny you say that. I've really been thinking about going to seminary school.
Joe.
And, you could do it.
Joe.
Hey, look, we got a special guest here. Huh?
Rain Dakota, how are you?
Dakota.
How you doing, young man?
Good to see you.
Let me tell you something. I didn't just kind of throw that out. I mean,
you're feeling it.
I'm telling you, your next career is in professional ministry.
Okay, yes. Then I need to start taking the steps to,
You
go
are.
to seminary.
You're taking them now.
So
you're taking them.
And how cool that Coach McCarthy came to him, asked him to give them the speech because he sees that in you. So did you give a speech or did you talk to some of the teammates yesterday or today, I guess, because you guys got in so early?
Yeah, so I spoke to the team a few weeks back, but like I said, I'm trying to bring Jesus everywhere I go, because as people, we know where we've been in life, the darkness you've been in, and for me to be able to be pulled out of that, and I couldn't rely on my mom, I couldn't rely on my dad, my brother, Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboys, I couldn't rely on the status on Instagram, I had to rely on Jesus. And to be in this place where I'm at right now, I want everybody to be able to experience this joy and this feeling that he gives you, because what you just think, okay, I might just have to live with this for the rest of my life, it's a lie, man. If you truly commit to it and you want to be different, you want to feel this joy and peace that he gives, I'm all for it, man. Give it to him, give him a shot. You will not be disappointed.
We are going to take our first break, and then cynically, I am going to ask you if you would talk to Jesus and see if he's interested in third downs, because those need to be a little more inspired.
I tell you what, man, we need to talk to him about it.
We will do that when we come back. We're with Joe Looney on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, and we're presented by Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Lucchese, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. We're back with Joe Looney on the Cowboys Hour.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Brad Sham and Taylor Stern, our very special guest on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network Cowboy Hour, the lovely and talented Joe Looney. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Cowboys center. And we're going to talk about you individually in a minute in football terms, but we do always acknowledge the most recent game. Mm-hmm. So it was clearly a disappointing result. The first quarter must have been very odd because they were really rude hosts. They would not let you play with their ball.
I tell you
in
what.
The first quarter.
Yeah, I tell you what, man.
They have this new stadium. They just think they're fancy.
They were trying to keep us off the field. But, yeah, man, we had our defense definitely had a tough task, last night stopping that offense. Those guys got a bunch of weapons over there, and, they have an up-tempo. They come out and do slow tempo, man, and hold on to that ball and run the football. But, it's a team game. I tell everybody it's a team game, and, we need everybody at the end of the day. So, we all got to, hold it down, be better. But, thankfully we got a lot more football.
It's one game,
yeah,
right? One game.
And as more football to play.
As Taylor reminded me when we came in here, the last two Cowboy playoff teams both lost the first game of the year. So let's not get carried away. I was, however, visiting with someone today who I won't identify, who has played the game at the highest of levels.
Super Bowl levels, perhaps?
Almost.
Oh, okay.
And he and I felt, he said, "What did you think?" And I said, "This is what I thought." "What did you think?" "This is what I thought." We both agreed. I said, "I had the feeling during the game, I haven't watched it all yet, that the Cowboys' defense was not dominating. And yet I look up at the end, and they give up 20 points. If you tell me you're going to give up 20 points a week, then you say you're going to win plenty of games."
Right.
And then I felt that you guys were really cooking, and you scored 17 points. Mm-hmm. And he said, it felt like the defense didn't play as well as 20 points would indicate, and the offense didn't play as poorly as 17 points would indicate. Now, some of the stuff's the same. Kellen's the same, Dak's the same, a lot of guys around you the same. Some of it's new. How did it feel when you finally got going?
Well, it felt good. The flow of the game felt good. I thought we, got off to a great start, man. We were running the football well. And, football is just, it's one of those games where, it's a couple plays, especially in the NFL, it's a couple of, plays during the game that can really decide the outcome of a game. But when those plays do come, I think we all have to be better at making sure that we take care of those plays so we can win the football game at the end of the day.
Now, I've got a couple of more questions, and then I'm going to shut up and actually let Taylor talk a little bit.
No, you're good. I mean,
I asked Dak this question about 3 weeks ago, and as usual, he gave a very thoughtful, incisive answer. And I said, so 2 years ago, Joe found out in training camp that he was going to be the center. That's when Travis got sick. And now you knew you were going to be at least first on the depth chart coming into camp because he had retired. Mm-hmm. And I said, what's different for Joe and about Joe? And in addition to the personal things that you've already talked about that I personally think inform what someone is professionally, in addition to that, he said he thought you were more confident and that the communication was better between you and him and in orchestrating the protections. Now, that's his perspective. From your point of view, what's different about taking it over now and knowing that this is yours now? You're not holding it for someone else.
Yeah, well, I think, that 2018 season really gave me, a lot of confidence. And, Travis, I got to give a lot of credit to him, man. Sitting next to a Pro Bowler and sitting next to him in meetings was absolutely wonderful for me. And, he actually told me, man, hey, Joe, 90% of this game is confidence, man, just going out there and, just leading the guys. And, when he told me that, man, it switched for me. And, communication with Dak got better. And, I just piggyback off of that going into this season, man. The things he told me and the things he taught me. And, fortunately enough, too, to play around a bunch of great guys, and Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, Connor. And, these guys have played a bunch of football. And they helped me out a bunch out there. And me and Dak got that chemistry still, from the 2018 season playing with each other. And, 2019, being around each other, still being in the offense. So, it's definitely a credit to a bunch of guys, man, because, my career has, it's had its ups and downs, and coming here has really helped me out. I mean, you see guys like Travis and Zach and Tyron, the way they work, the way they perfect their craft. It only makes you want to be better. You don't ever want to be seen as the weak link in the chain. So, I got to give credit to these guys for, making my game excel.
And speaking of that, the one guy you didn't mention was a guy who a lot of people didn't know when the starting lineups came out last night. And when they said starting at right tackle, Terrence Steele, and a lot of people said, excuse me, who? But now you've been – I know what the administration likes about him. I know what the coaches like about him. You've been on the field and in meetings with him all summer. Tell the people about young Mr. Terrence Steele.
Oh man, Terrence. First of all, is he's a great guy off the field, man. He works his butt off, and I think one of the underrated things in our profession is how hard people do work, and being an undrafted rookie, man, it's tough. It's tough to come into this league and play, and the way he approached it, making sure that he's talking to Tyron and LC, making sure he's getting everything that he needs to be successful on the field. And, when he's going into meetings, he's talking to coach, he's talking to the players, and just his work ethic. His work ethic shows, and, he's going to, form into a great lineman in this game, man.
Name to know. Now, I have to ask you, because everyone wonders from a player perspective, the fourth down call. Obviously, Coach McCarthy went into it. He cited analytics as a large reason why he decided to go for it. As a player, are you just going with it? Whatever happens, happens. Like you said, a game comes down to just a couple calls, a couple plays. How did you feel about that?
Right. I support his decision. We're trying to win football games, and if we score a touchdown on that drive, we win the game, and that's what we're ultimately trying to do. And McCarthy and Kellen are going to call plays, and it's our job as players to get out there and execute it. So just like I said, we got to be better at executing those plays, because we execute those plays, maybe the outcome of the game is different, and we're sitting here talking about another subject.
So Taylor, here's what tickles me: if the call had come in, and they're going to go for it instead of tying the game on the field goal. If you had felt, if anybody in the huddle had looked up and said, "Has he lost his mind? If we just kick this cheap shot, we're gonna tie the game." What do you mean? Someone go tell him what the score is. I mean, you're not going to say that, right? You're not going to tell anybody that, even if you think it.
Yeah, and too, when our leader has that much confidence in us, he's the head coach of the football team, and hey, my offense is out there on 4th and 2. I'm going to have confidence in these guys to go and get the job done. Hey, that puts us in a position where we got to get the job done. And if he's going to have that much confidence in us, that much faith in us, we got to go out there and get the job done in those, on those few plays that, are going to, decide the outcome of a football game.
Now, Brad was asking me earlier, and I was like, all right, I will ask Joe. I'll be the one. The Feed Me tattoo. Did you get that?
I didn't ask you that. I did not ask you that. That was all Taylor, and that was all Taylor.
He knows. Did you guys get some matching Feed Me tattoos, or how did that, decision go for yourself? Because you got one as well, right?
I wish, I know you guys might not be able to see, but it's somewhere.
You could have. But by the way, you could just shave it into.
Yeah, I could. Make it a smiley face.
Right?
Feed me.
Yes. With
whatnot.
a spoon. Yeah.
It could be great.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love it, man. And I think he did show it last night.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
He did in fact show it. It was You couldn't see it from the broadcast.
I couldn't
booth.
read it on the screen because the lighting on the monitor that I had was really dark. I knew he was showing something, some tattoo, but I couldn't read exactly what it was.
That was one of the crazy things, I hate to cut y'all off. That was one of the crazy things in the game last night, though, is, when there's big plays in a game, we usually find out from the fans.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it's so. When Zeke scored, we're kind of looking around and we're like, oh, he scored, touchdown.
Oh, good.
Let him celebrate.
So how was that? The first game without a fan, without any fans in the stadium at all.
Yeah.
How did that impact y'all's play?
Yeah, so it was definitely different, the opening of the game and whatnot. But once you get on the field, if it's not an away game, you really are so focused on doing your job. You get so locked in. And if you're not doing silent counts and whatnot on the away games, you're not really focused on the crowd because you're just trying to get the job done and win a game.
What was the piped in sound like? Because the one concern that people had initially, not this week, but months ago when they were talking about it, was, well, wait, they've got to pipe in something because otherwise defenses can hear calls and it'll take them like 2 plays to figure it out.
Right. It was a little bit, but it wasn't deafening sound where you couldn't hear it in the huddle and whatnot. So you go to some of these NFL stadiums and you just can't hear in the huddle because the crowd is so loud. But it wasn't nothing like that. We were still able to get out there and communicate and still hide some calls from the defense.
Well, if you're a Cowboys fan, then you can get your tickets now.
Now? Right now.
Yeah, Brad, right now, this moment, to see the Cowboys take on the Atlanta Falcons in the first home game of the 2020 season this Sunday at noon. A limited number of tickets are on sale now. And we'll be right back. But we're also presented by Papa John's because if you're hungry today, you should get a Papa John's pizza. And you could get the Cowboys Family Special, a large specialty pizza and a large 2-topping pizza for just $24 at papajohns.com. Official pizza of your Dallas Cowboys limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
We're with Joe Looney on the Cowboys Hour. We'll be right back.
That sounds.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Taylor Stern, our very special guest, Cowboys center Joe Looney. Thank you again for your time after getting home at 3:30 in the morning, and not because Joe was out running the streets. He was out running the runways with the rest of his teammates. Okay, now let's see what kind of success, Taylor, I can have with this next line of questioning.
Okay.
So during the break, Joe asked us how are we doing with the virtual communication, because we are not COVID tested all the time like the players are. We're on different tiers. And so this is as close as I'm going to get to Joe Looney for the foreseeable future, right? Yes, it's heartbreaking.
Though.
I'm reaching to you guys.
Yes, thank you. We're reaching back. So all the interviews during the week and post-game are virtual. So the public relations department brings the player to a certain place, a dial-in number, reporters call in and ask questions. That's recorded and sent out to the media. So I listened today to your post-game interview last night. Mm-hmm. They asked you to come and talk. Do you have any idea where I'm going with this?
Let's see. Surprise
Joe
me.
answered, I'm going to say, at least a half dozen questions. Mm-hmm. Without saying a single thing. He said absolutely zero.
He's a politician.
Yeah.
He is a politician.
Now, the very best I ever saw at that was Travis Frederick, who would fill a reporter's notebook with a smile on his face and use a lot of words. And I noticed at one point, and he started doing this when he was a rookie. You weren't even here his rookie year, were you?
No, but I sat next to him for a couple
So
of
he
years.
would do that, and he was a rookie. I've never done this with anybody else in 41 years. I said to him, I've noticed what you do, and I want to know who taught you. Because these people are walking away from you feeling like they just got the interview of their life, and you've said absolutely nothing. You have revealed nothing. And so when you started playing a little more, you were doing that. And you still do that. You still do your very best.
Is that what this whole show has been tonight?
No, that's what's so great about this. With us, Joe has been Joe, and he's been really real.
I'll open up to you guys.
And we love you for it. But I want to know how you go through the process of hearing the questions that are asked you in a mass interview setting, deciding what the words are. Like the first question that was asked it wasn't about the fourth down call. It was, but something like that. And Joe said, well, we're a team, and we've just got it. We're working together. We've got.
I always call this a team sport.
Somebody said, what was it like, with both Zeke and Pollard running the balls? Well, they're both great backs.
Yeah.
And we just think that we can really work together, and we got the makings of a good offense, and we were really doing some good things. Yeah, what?
You're on
okay.
to me.
So, I am on to you. And I'm on to you because we've had this conversation before. But I want you to talk about what is going through your mind when you're in a post-game situation like that. They're asking you these questions, and some of it's silly. Why is anybody going to ask him what he thinks of a fourth down call? I think my boss is an idiot. That's what I think.
I just wanted to hear what he was thinking.
No. I mean, what do you want him to say? I love blocking for Zeke, but Pollard has no idea where he's going. That's really what is he going to say?
I just want him to give the fans some hope here. That's a wise call, because when everybody wants to be quarterback, Monday morning quarterback, they have the answers.
Oh, I started getting phone calls this morning. Don't worry.
He came in a mood.
Yeah, I did. I actually did. But I don't want to see Joe right now is very happy because he thinks that we're just about to veer off away from the question that I'm trying to ask him.
Give me this question.
What goes through your mind when you are formulating your answers in these mass interviews?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is, you want to talk people up. It's like, if someone else was up there talking about you, you wouldn't want them to say something negative or, bad about you. And, we're all professionals at the end of the day. If we come off the field, we could tell you, before you tell us what we did wrong. We know what happened through the course of the game. And, this is a brotherhood. And these guys in the locker room, man, these are my dudes, man. I got their back. No matter what we go through, we're going through this together because we got one goal that we're trying to get to, and people don't know how hard it is. People don't know how hard it is to win football games in the NFL, and we all got to be in on this. And if we're not all in together, and if we got such and such versus so and so, then it's not going to work out. It's not going to work because it's too hard. It's too hard of a profession. It's people watch the game on TV and they don't feel the hits that we're taking. They don't necessarily know all the preparation and the meeting time that we put in for this game. And we're going to support each other. We're going to support each other at the end of the day because, these are the guys we got and we're making a run for it.
But are you conscious of not saying something that will sound not unified? Or even a step further, are you conscious in a great interview, a group interview, of being bland? Yet being friendly, you're always smiling. Nobody. If anybody ever made you mad, you'd never know it, because we get that, and then we get oatmeal, which is, and I love oatmeal, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you try not to be bland, and there's the obvious things you could point out, in a game where it's like, okay, this person did this wrong, but. You know what, man? We're all human at the end of the day. You show me where you haven't made a mistake at your job and on your work, at the workplace where you work at. And, it just happens. We're all human. We're going to make mistakes. And, we as professionals here, in the NFL, we take it more personal, and because it's our job. It's our job to go out there and perform. So we're already being the biggest critics on ourselves. So, it's tough to, make sure you have that balance of, not critiquing, too much because we're already critiquing ourselves so much throughout the week and, even in the games.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you bring up some good points about having each other's back. Dak Prescott last week, obviously he was a little bit of a cameo on our show earlier, but Dak came open with mental health and how he dealt with it, especially during quarantine and then with his brother's passing. And I feel like you are so unique to me. And just like Brad was saying, we do know you well. And if you see you, you've always got a smile on your face. You greet everybody the same.
That.
And that's such a gift. It's a true talent that you have. But there are got to be some days where you don't feel like being Joe Looney, the guy that we all know and love, and the performer, and giving people that radiant energy. How do you battle that?
Well, when I do feel like that, I gotta take myself back to, first of all, I'm alive and well. It's like, I kind of think, during training camp. Training camp is a tough time for NFL football players, and you're going through practice, you're beat up, you're tired, you feel like, oh man, I can't run another play, and you got to bring yourself back and understand first that you're so blessed to be where you are. You're gonna have 3 meals every day, and you get to be around your best friends and play in the NFL and whatnot. And one of those things, one thing that really brings me back is just making sure that hey, maybe check out the sunset during the day, and you realize how small you are on this planet, man. And how much of an impact you can have. So, just decompress, look at the sunset, take it easy, and then get back to being joyful, because, that's what I want to be. And that's what I want people to see. It's like we're all so blessed just to be alive, to have a job, to be able to put food on the table. And, because, I this COVID thing is, it'll make you notice it even more. But, I grew up and I went through a lot of hurricanes, and that's really the only thing I can compare COVID to, because I had
You're talking about a literal meteorological hurricane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And, going through that stuff and standing in lines, to get food from, the Red Cross and whatnot. And I can only imagine, how people are being impacted, in a way that, this COVID situation has. So how can I wake up and not be grateful? How can I wake up and not be thankful? So that usually brings me back to center, God has all my needs met. So I need to be joyful and, let everybody, see this smile.
Do teammates come and talk to you about this when they're kind of feeling down? Because, I think it was a revelation for a lot of sports fans last week to think, oh, Dak Prescott feels this way too. And that's why I think it was so helpful and powerful for him to speak up about that. But as we all know here, I think we're comfortable in saying it's everybody. It's,
oh, yeah.
We're all, if we have a brain, you have mental health. It
no
doesn't
question.
Discriminate.
Yeah, we are all human, and we all have those days, where we think we can't put another foot forward, but like we were talking about earlier in the show, you got to get back to your foundation. Get back to your foundation. My foundation's in my faith and understanding you have purpose, you have meaning, and just to keep pressing on towards the goal you want to get to and spreading joy and spreading peace.
Isn't it amazing to think of what in your next career, and hopefully this one will last a while, but isn't it great to think about in your next career what a launching pad all of this, including where you are doing it, is? Oh yeah, it's an absolute blessing, to be able to say, I played in the NFL for hopefully a couple of more years and move on into ministry and let people know that hey, life is not all about how many likes you get on Instagram. It's not about how many followers you have on Instagram. It's not defined with, how much money you have in the bank, what kind of car you drive. Because all that stuff is cool, man. But if it's just there to make you happy, so to say, that car is going to get old. The bank account's going to get empty. It's not going to be there to, help you out when you do have those days where you feel like you can't take another step forward. And that's why, I'm so, I'm trying to admonish people and tell them, man, hey, give Jesus a shot and let him lead you, because, it's good to have all those things, and just don't disconnect it. Don't disconnect it from, where it's at.
I've been trying to tell Brad to just enough with the thirst traps. Enough. I need to make you laugh.
Absolutely love y'all.
If you only knew. Joe Looney, if you only knew.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
We are having fun.
Always having
and
fun.
when we come back from our last break, speaking of Instagram likes, we're going to talk about the greatest hits of Joe Looney.
Oh, they are great. But what's even greater is Omni. Because this summer, do more than just stay apart. Stay a part of the game and stay a part of the Cowboys. Kick off football season at Omni Frisco Hotel, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys, and enjoy all the dining and entertainment options the Star has to offer. And remember, you want to see Joe Looney? You can this weekend at AT&T Stadium, because single game tickets are now available for the 2020 season. So go get them. Go see this guy.
Come see us, guys.
And all his little friends. Back with Joe Looney. You do have a bunch of them. Back with Joe Looney on the Cowboys Hour right after this.
the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Great time during the break, I'll tell you that. And Taylor Swift, Taylor Stern, go ahead and talk about Instagram all you want.
I was just saying that sometimes
I call her Swifty.
He
so.
has ever since I was 22.
Yeah.
Which
was like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was just a couple minutes ago. But Instagram is great. And if you don't follow at Mr._Joe, you're missing out. Because what do we get to see? I shared a video
Well,
today.
actually, the question is, what don't we get to see?
I mean, what don't we get to see? The thirst traps are real on Joe Looney's Instagram page. And not because he's trying. It's just who you are. You know?
Yeah.
That's you.
Oh, yeah. Joyful, playful, always trying to have a good time.
The camera does love you.
It just, I don't know why, it attracts to me.
Okay, Taylor, you'll help me out. The one that I saw, this came flying up. I don't know if it was on Twitter or Instagram today.
Yeah, it was. I brought it back.
You
Yeah, I did.
And you're in it's like a weightlifter's pose.
Yes.
And you're in, sadly, unfortunately, skimpy little brown briefs. And where was that? It was
The locker
big room.
Yeah, so we were in the locker room, and this was actually before game. And
so it's a game day locker room.
It was a game day
And
locker
remember,
room.
he's DJ in the locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Is that still your title, or did that get taken away? Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's a
so he's
little
setting up his
DJ
own
action
track.
in there. But, it's funny. So I was really diving head first. If you guys haven't seen this documentary called Generation Iron, it's about bodybuilders. And, I was sitting there and I'm watching them pose, and I was like, man, I could really do that, man. Sitting in there taking all the poses in. And so I was really letting it just download into my brain. And, I was
and
like,
who shot it?
I think Witten might have took that
I would
video.
love it if Witten took
See,
it.
Witten's sneaky. Witten
yeah.
comes on as all, but then he wants to stir it up a little bit.
Yeah, pious Witten over there. But,
yeah.
I mean, the camera does love you. I feel like you're always having a good time. Now, somebody who's back, and people have, if you haven't been following the team for very long, Brandon Carr, new name, meet him. Just kidding. Most Cowboys fans would be listening. But Brandon Carr's pretty goofy, right?
Oh yeah, Brandon's a funny cat, man. I'm happy to have him back in the locker room. I saw him the other day when he first showed up, and I was like, dude, what's going on, bro? And we got to rapping and talking and laughing a little bit, but it's good. We need that. We need it in the locker room, man. With this profession, you got to have those laughs to bring you back down and let you know, hey, we're all human, man. We're all out here trying to have fun and have a good time.
What's the Joe Looney track of the season? What's your one hype song you're playing a lot right now?
Oh, man. So you guys know I can't get enough of it, but Marshmallow alone is probably one of my favorite songs out there. I mean, it's just, it's one of the ultimate hype songs, I mean, it gets you going. It gets you up, If you need some energy, you need a feel-good song, put it on, dude.
Yeah, Marshmallow. Have you listened to them?
It's on a loop. Actually, on my.
It's on the queue.
It's on my playlist.
No, it's not on your queue. Okay, one other question as we're all getting used to these times. When you wear a mask, it looks different than when I wear a mask, and largely in part because you have a very large beard.
Mm-hmm.
So does it just kind of sit there, or what is the mask situation happening?
Yeah, so
for
it
Joe Looney?
it just kind of covers my nose and my mouth, and then you can see the rest of my beard. But cool enough, I was on the flight last night, and the flight attendant, she actually gave me this cool little thing to hold my mask. So now I could just strap it around my neck. It won't fall off, and when I need it, just put it on. I don't have to have it in my pocket or anything. Just keep it around my neck, and we're good to go.
Now, you have one of the, for those of you not watching on the stream on DallasCowboys.com, then you're not getting to see the greatness that is Joe Looney, but Joe's got a team issue Navy mask, right, with the star in one corner of it there.
Yeah,
now,
and then the other corner has my number in it.
Has your number. Very nice. Very nice.
Don't want to be sharing masks.
Wow.
No, you don't. No, we don't. No, we do not. Now, do you have just the one mask? Do you have a collection of masks at home? Do you have your Saturday night mask or your Sunday go to church mask, or do you have?
Yeah. So I got a couple of them, and the ones with the I don't even know what to call these things, little hooks on them.
Elastic?
Yeah, the elastic that go around they're really good, just when you're walking around, you can, strap them up real quick. But the ones that I like the sleeve that pulls over, the face.
Gator.
Yeah. It's a little more comfortable and whatnot. So I have a couple of those at the house. My dad, he gave me a couple of neon ones because, he was essential during this whole time. He's the head of the water treatment plant down in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Wow.
So he was giving me a bunch of stuff, man, and I was wearing it, and it's bright neon green, which I love too.
Wow.
I love the neons. He's a music guy. He's a festival. You miss festivals, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Talk
Those
about
will be
a fun
back
time,
in
man.
2025.
Taylor just asked. Be a little more optimistic.
Oh, coming from the one today.
Positivity,
The one
positivity,
what?
positivity.
The one what?
He was just so sad.
I was a little grumpy. That's all I was, just a little grumpy when I came in. And sometimes I'm a little dopey, for those of you who are Seven Dwarfs
Brad,
fans.
give me one of your songs. What's a song that you would recommend me listen to?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, Joe, it might be something from I'm a big jazz guy, so I've got all kinds of jazz. My Spotify playlist has I love the collaborations of jazz and classical music, like jazzified versions of classical pieces. Mm-hmm. And I'm also then when I need to really lighten the mood and I'm driving, then I will go to the Jimmy Buffett channel. I like a lot of Jimmy Buffett kind of stuff, Margaritaville, and
I'm gonna have to Google it. But funny story about jazz. Do you know Kenny G?
Not personally, but of course.
Yeah,
My dad.
So we were at this thing called the Sunfest one year down in Florida. And, I'm probably about 12 years old. And my mom and dad are really into jazz music also. And Kenny G comes walking by and I'm with my mom. And she just, starts going crazy, kiss this man on his arm. And I'm like, Mom, you can't do that. Dad's right there.
I will get with you and I will send you some jazz recommendations.
No question. I appreciate it.
Miles Davis. I'm a classic jazz guy. Miles Davis, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie. A Night in Tunisia. Google that on your Spotify. Dizzy Gillespie, A Night in Tunisia.
Got it.
Okay.
Night in Tunisia.
Joe Looney, I can't begin to thank you enough. We love talking to you.
We love you.
Thank you, guys.
Stay healthy, big fella.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Love y'all.
You bet. Taylor Stern, thank you very much.
Thank you,
We
Bradley
are back
Chum.
here again next week. And I won't say who I think our guest will be because it's not confirmed yet, but I know who I think it will be. But we'll see. Hopefully.
Hinty hint?
Everybody might get a kick out of it. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll just see how that goes. And then don't forget, the Cowboys do take on the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday at noon, and there will be some fans allowed into AT&T Stadium. You want to read that promo one more time?
Yep.
We got about 30 seconds left.
Get your tickets now. They are on sale. It's a limited number of tickets, and you got to follow the Safe Stadium guidelines. But why would you not if you get to see Joe Looney and the Cowboys defeat the Falcons this weekend? Mm-hmm. You got to have confidence. It's 90% of the game, as Joe Looney told us.
And as Yogi Berra said, just remember that 50% of this game is 90% mental.
Look at that. Let me write that one down, too.
Yeah, you need something to write with. Joe Looney's our guest. We thank everyone for being with us. For Taylor Stern, I'm Brad Sham. This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!